Hello, welcome back to my channel. I've just got in from work. Well, actually no, that's a lie. I've been in from work for a little while now. I've put the girls down to bed and I've got into my jammies and I thought, wouldn't it be nice to do a take the day off with me video to show you a little bit about my evening skincare routine, talk you through the products that I use and how I use them and how I get on with them. So it'll be a mini review at the same time, but also talking about some of the skin conditions that I'm suffering from at the moment and how I'm dealing with them. So that's what today's video is going to be about, and I hope you enjoy it. So the first product that I start using is my L'Oreal Gentle Eye Makeup Remover, and I absolutely love this stuff. I've been using it since I was about 15 and I've stayed loyal to it ever since. It's so simple. It's a watery fluid consistency, and I just saturate 2 dry cotton discs, about 50p sized amount on each one, and I just let it soak on my eyes for a couple of seconds before sweeping the product away. I have used this for years, as I say, and it has shifted everything I've ever worn on my eyes, including waterproof makeup as well. I think it retails for about £3.50, but it's very often on offer as well, so you can get it discounted. I just use the cotton pad to pinch away at my lashes just to remove any excess traces of mascara. It looks like I'm being quite rough with my eyes. I'm really not. I'm trying to very gently sweep the product away as opposed to really scrubbing at it, because with this product there's just no need to. I turn the pads over and I just use the excess that's on the back of the clean side of the pads just to take off my lipstick, which is a really nice thing to do because it's just refreshing to get every scrap off. This is my Dermalogica sponge cloth. It's something that dries absolutely bone dry, rock solid during the day. And this is my pre-cleanse, which I always use for my first cleanse. I use it because it's oil-based, and much of the grease and grime and dirt and makeup that we have on our faces by the end of the day is also oil-based. So working on the principle that like attracts like, an oil-based cleanser is going to do the best job of dislodging oil-based dirt, grease, grime and makeup. So I like to do my first cleanse with the pre-cleanse. There are so many balms or oil-based cleansers on the market. There's a lot for you to take your choice of. One of the most recent ones on the market is the Pixie Double Cleanse with Caroline Hirons, and that's another similar principle. But Dermalogica Pre-Cleanse is something I've been using for a long time. And I just massage it all over my face in circular motions, getting all the nooks and crannies through the eyebrows, and I take all of my products down to my collarbone. What you can't see is I've got a running tap, which is saturating my sponge cloth to make it all soft. And now I'm just adding some drops of water to the pre-cleanse that's on my hand to emulsify it, which means I can then remove it with my sponge cloth more easily. So by emulsifying the product, it turns to a white milk consistency. And I have my own special technique of turning my face to one side to stop it all dripping down my neck and into my clothing, which is so irritating. But what you haven't been able to see is my sponge cloth under the running tap, and now it's all soft and floppy and usable. It's such a gentle way of removing your cleansers or your products. I always used to use a flannel, but I find they create a lot of friction on your skin, and I am so prone to sensitivity or dehydration, so I have to be really careful about the heat and the friction that I use on my skin, and I find the sponge cloth is the most gentle way to remove product if you're a fan of a flannel. You can just start to see on my skin that I have this redness in my T-zone, so it's between the brows, it's down my nose, and it's also on the nasolabial folds, which are those lines that go down from my nose to the outer corners of my mouth, and that is where I get my sensitization and my dehydration. I was just showing you my sponge cloth there, nice and floppy. This is the Foaming Cleanser by witht. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a very new product to me, something I recently picked up from Space NK. It's a foaming cleanser, as I say, but I normally steer clear of these because I find that the ingredients that make them foam are actually what strips the grease off of my skin. Now that sounds like a good thing, but it just leaves me feeling quite parched, and it's partially responsible for the dehydration and then the sensitization that I experience sometimes. But with this one, it's just so comforting to use. Two things I love about it: it's got a beautiful fragrance and not a perfumed one. It's very natural smelling, but it smells of orange blossom. And secondly, it's really comforting. It doesn't leave me feeling too tight, which is a new thing for me because most foaming cleansers do. So I just start removing it with my sponge cloth, and that is my second cleanse. So anything that the pre-cleanse did not remove, my second cleanse certainly does. And I just work it all over my skin to make sure I've got every last trace of product off. And I find that it just leaves me feeling really, really clean, like I've got absolutely everything off, but very, very comforted as well. So I certainly would recommend this product, this foaming cleanser. My next product is Pixi Hydrating Milky Mist, which is a toner. And because of my dehydration, I tend to go for anything that says hydrating. And I spritz it all over, and it's really cooling and refreshing. Bit of a flap to cool myself down and help dry it. But I love a spritz toner, it just wakes you up. This is the Declior Aromessence Rose d'Orient Oil Serum, and I tend to reach for this product when I am feeling sensitised and a bit dehydrated because it's for sensitivity. And I just take 3 drops on my fingers and then I work it between my hands, just like that. And then I tend to dot it across my face and blend it in. And this is something that I reach for anytime that I'm feeling red, because this level of redness for me is not normal and it's not okay. And if you get redness like this, you shouldn't accept that it's just what your skin does, because it's normally a sign. It's like a distress call from your skin. It's a sign that something's not quite balanced and not quite right. So you need to pay attention to things like that. And when I see my skin doing this, that's when I get this serum out. And after a few days of using it, I find that the redness really calms down and I lose that parched feeling, and it just returns me back to normal again. It resets me, which is just amazing. I think I'm experiencing the sensitization, the redness and the dehydration because I tend to get it when the seasons change. And at the moment we're in sort of spring and early summer, so that's why. Skin Smoothing Cream by Dermalogica. I know this is a very Dermalogica orientated evening skincare routine, but it's just currently what I'm working through at the moment. But my skin smoothing cream is a lovely comforting moisturiser that I tend to use in the evening. I used to use it in the morning as well, but then I really found the need to include an SPF in my routine, so I tend to use a moisturiser that has an SPF in the morning and then this in the evening. And I take a little dot into my finger for each of my cheeks and my forehead and my neck area, because I find that applying it like this, I use so much less product, whereas just taking a big squidge in the palm of my hand and massaging it all over, I find that my hands tend to absorb a lot of product as well, and I just get through it so much more quickly. So I try and make things last. I try and be economical, and I find that this way is the best for me. So I just massage that all over and allow it to absorb, and it's a really, as I say, comforting, very hydrating moisturiser, and I've used it for years. I'm very loyal to it. It's lovely. And that's it. Thanks for watching.